What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Pause Reset Play. This is a video of what I consider to be the 2017 Game of the Year. And of course I'm talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild. To give any idea of how much I like this game, this is the Nintendo Switch version. I did not have a Switch when this game first came out. I did have a Nintendo Wii U though, and hadn't played that in quite some time, so I dusted it off and picked this game up. So glad I did, because I played that game for hundreds of hours. Did everything you can do in the game aside from the DLC. That was one thing I didn't do on purpose, because I knew that eventually I was going to get a Switch, and I wanted to enjoy the game again once I got it for Switch and play the DLC on this console. So very much a game that I've enjoyed throughout the year when it comes to playing it on the Nintendo Wii U and now playing it on the Switch. Again, this is the Switch version. Just real quick to compare the two versions, to be honest, it's not a whole lot different. I suppose there's slightly better performance, you know, in areas like, let me open the map up. In areas like, where am I looking at? I'm looking for, yeah, Kakariko Village. So this is in a lot of the major towns in the game, like this town. When you go into those areas, the frame rate does drop quite a bit. It dropped a lot on the Wii U. It drops on the Switch as well, not quite as much, but it's still noticeable though. That would be one of the few complaints I have with the game. By and large, though, you're looking at really a masterpiece, in my opinion. This is a game that is not just a great game in 2017. This, to me, is a great game, period. You know, one of the best games I've ever played throughout the time I've been playing video games. So, no doubt about it, this is one of the best games that you're going to be able to get that's out today and that's out ever. That's one of the reasons, or one of the big reasons, why I think it is Game of the Year. Beyond that, looking at the game as a whole, it's a huge world map. You know, this map is gigantic. Is it the biggest? No, but it's a huge world map though. I mean, in every place you can see, from those towers there in the distance to that church, to those snow-capped mountains, you can go to all those places. You know, anywhere you can see, you can pretty much go to. It may take you a while, and it will take you a while to get there. And you may not have the right gear to get there at first. You may not have enough stamina. You know, when I'm running here, my green stamina bar is going lower. Use stamina for things like power attacks and also for climbing. So you can go to every place you can see, but there's a good chance that you won't be able to get to all these locations right away. It's going to take you time leveling up your character. It's going to take you time investing your containers in stamina containers to boost that green wheel and make it bigger. For instance, when you start out, you only have one green wheel. I've added a little bit to that to make it slightly easier to climb places. But it's going to take you time and effort to level your character up to get you to all these places. But again, you can go to every single one. You know, one of the things that I enjoy about this game is the fact that you do have that very non-linear freedom of doing what you want. I mean, basically, as soon as the game starts, you can choose to completely ignore the storyline if you want to, and just travel and explore and collect different items, you know, materials, weapons, armor. You can go and do all these things pretty much as soon as you start the game. As a matter of fact, when I played the Wii U version, I didn't go on the intended path. Walked around and pretty much did exploration for the first 20 hours before I even did anything. So, you know, it's a game that allows for a lot of choice and a lot of freedom to make your own path here. Visuals, I think the game looks amazing. You know, it's definitely got a different art style than what you typically see. But very much, you know, is applicable to the genre and also to the franchise as well. graphically as impressive as some other titles in 2017? Of course not. But with the style they're going for and what they're trying to do, I think it's spot on and it fits very very well. Storyline, like I mentioned, you can do whatever you want from the very start of the game. I won't get into too much of the storyline because I don't want to give any spoilers, but like other Zelda games, it follows a similar format, and I think that familiarity is one thing that we've grown accustomed to. Very much like Super Mario Odyssey, you have that familiarity with what you're supposed to do, and you're okay with it. Again, I won't get into too many spoilers because I want to keep this video spoiler free for anybody who, for whatever reason, didn't pick this game up when it first came out. Maybe you just got it for the holidays or whatever. So this is a game where it's going to drag you in, it's going to suck you in. I think if you're playing for the Switch, I think the natural comparison, right or wrong, is going to be with Super Mario Odyssey. And don't get me wrong, getting the Switch and getting it for Mario Odyssey was one of my major motivators. And I really enjoyed the Super Mario Odyssey game. I love all the Mario games. It's a fun game. This is a game where you can't put it down. It's a game where you want to play and go to the next shrine, and you want to discover more. You want to see what's on top of that mountain. You want to do all these things, and it just sucks you into the environment in a way that pretty much no other game did for me in 2017, aside from playing Destiny with my buddies. This is, to me though, game of the year. One of the I will talk about some of the complaints that not necessarily I had, but others have had. One thing, and this is kind of on cue here, one of the things that some people have said is the game rains too much. I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest. I don't think it does, and B, I like the fact that there is a dynamic weather system in the game. I think it makes the game world that much more rich and rewarding when you have this type of dynamic system in place. Can it be frustrating when you're trying to climb a mountain and it starts raining? Yeah, because you start sliding down, you can't really get to where you want to go to. But to me, it's not something that is intrusive on my gameplay. Other people have complained about the weapon durability. To be honest, I can see that, because as you use all your weapons, they do break, usually at very inopportune moments, when you're in some pretty heated battles with bosses or what have you. It kind of sucks to have your equipment break on you, but hey, the weapon drops are very frequent. It's rare that I find myself not having a weapon when I need one. I think, if anything, they could improve the durability of some weapons. I think that could be one thing they could do to appease those folks. The biggest complaint that I have, and it's only in a very few select moments, is the motion controls. Now, right now I'm running up to one of these shrines here. I don't believe this one has it. Not many shrines do, but there are some shrines that make use of the motion controls on the Switch and the Wii U. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The motion controls absolutely suck. It's extremely difficult to use the motion controls, and to be honest, I thought it might be better on the Switch. It might actually be worse. It might even be worse than it was on the Wii U. That to me is, I think, my biggest complaint. Granted, it's only on a handful of shrines that comes into play, and usually part of my frustration was trying to get some chests that you can only get by using the motion controls. So, is it a game breaker? No, of course not. Is it a complaint of mine? Yeah, it is, and I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way. But that does not deter me from saying that this is unequivocally the 2017 Game of the Year. beyond that, I would say this is one of the best games of all time. It's one that I very much look forward to continuing to play. I'm going to dive into the DLC here in the coming weeks, but no doubt about it, this to me is the best game that 2017 had to offer. Very much look forward to seeing what 2018 has. There's a lot of big games coming out, so let me know if you like this video. Any support, thumbs up, subscriptions, all those things make a difference. I do appreciate all those. Let me know if you agree. Is this a game of the year to you? Is there something else that you would put over this? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to seeing any feedback that you guys have to offer. So, as always, thanks for watching and happy gaming in 2018.